The Own Your Intuitive podcast is for the creatives, spiritual entrepreneurs, and light workers in the world. The shining ones who have been told to dim their light and stop believing in magic. I say screw that. The time to rise is now. To bring your gifts out into the world in a big way, creating a business that feeds your soul and your bank account. You are a magical being with the potential to change the world, one human at a time. The time for you to own your intuitive is now. Hello, magical beings of love light. On today's Own Your Intuitive podcast is probably one of my favorite conversations to have because today we're talking about the power of now. And that means that if you're, listening to this podcast and writing and you're listening to this podcast and doing something else, we have been taught that our life is meant to be in the expression of as many things as we can possibly do at one time to maximize the effort and the availability of time that we have in order to get as many things checked off and done as possible in a day. I get you. I totally get you. And what's really, really interesting is that I would even say that going into our childhood, we are actually taught not to be in the present moment, always thinking one step ahead. Because even think about like when you came home from school and it'd be like, can I play outside? And it'd be like, first you have to do your homework and then you can play outside. And so we would just be like kind of rushing through our homework to get to the outcome that we wanted, right? We were never quite in the present moment. We began to believe that, and then this will happen. Like if I get good grades, then I will get into a good university. So we were so focused on the university that we're just kind of not even present in the high school experience. Oftentimes, I'm not saying for everybody, I'm just saying that we are steered in the direction of what's next, the and thens. And so it presents itself in our daily existence here right now while you're listening to this podcast in the sense that, we're thinking about what we have in the day in like a far advanced. So like I'm listening to this podcast and then I got to get groceries and then I got to pick the kids up to get them to their dance class. And then I've got to get them to where they need to go. And then I got dinner and then. And I mean, it's human nature. That's just kind of the way it goes. But the fact of the matter is that oftentimes it's because we think that time is going to be something that we run out of. And when we think we're going to run out of time, we kind of feel that we should probably stack and load as many things as possible into any given moment in order to get everything done that we feel we need to get done. There's an urgency, almost like an expectation on ourselves that if we don't get more done in a day, then we're lazy or we're, lazy. That's a word that's going to come up twice because that's truly what we believe is like, I am a lazy person if I'm not getting 100 things done in a day. And it's so fascinating that this is the conditioning that we're in, because the fact is that the people around us start to notice that there's a shift in our energy, right? Like, if I'm talking to you and I'm already thinking about what I have next coming up, I'm not truly present with the experience that we are having together for this energy and for this conversation. And that's missing out on something really special, because creating those conversations with another human, the ones where, you lose track of time or the room disappears because you're just so invested in the conversation and what is being shared between two individuals. And that's the things that people remember. That's the way that our life and our relationships, our businesses, our self-worth, all of that changes when we are just so grounded into these moments. I think of being in different locations, different events, or different, retreats even, and having conversations with people, and they're invested for a short period of time, but then they're looking over your shoulder to see if maybe there's somebody else that they want to talk to who might be a little bit more advanced or higher up in the entrepreneurial world. And you all of a sudden sit there and you're like, well, who am I then? If this is what they're doing is like, oh, she's not quite good enough for me to talk to. There's going to be somebody else that I want to talk to more. And I'm just going to kind of keep a corner out of my eye to see if that's, or they look at their watch and they're not involved in the conversation. Now, of course, this has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with them. But at the same time, It's an opportunity missed. Because if we're in the space to believe that everything and everyone that we're coming in contact in the day is brought to us, then there's an exchange that's meant to be had for whatever purpose or reason. Being present in the now to receive that information, it has the opportunity to shift your life forward in bigger ways, right? And so that person that you are talking to, that you're looking over their shoulder, could hold the key to having information about how to launch your business, introduce you to somebody, share something really valuable. I mean, it could be something really spectacular. The other part that tends to take us out of the now is our own monkey brain, right? Like taking somebody else out of the equation and getting into the nattering in our own head, right? So, oftentimes people call it monkey brain. I think that it's a superpower. Makes great authoring, you guys, or great writing if you have a million thoughts in your head and can create stories that aren't real. So what do we do? What do we do when, our mind is so busy that it keeps us from being fully present because we're just worried or we're stressed or we're evaluating and thinking and doing all of these things in our brain? So reading The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, he gave a really powerful exercise, and he was like, close your eyes and say to yourself, what's my next thought? Dang, nothing. When you demand from your ego what your next thought is, there's nothing there to say. So it is an exercise to stop your brain in its tracks, to give yourself a little respite, a peace of mind, a moment of from the intensive wandering and story making. But yet our minds are always with us and our thoughts are always with us. So there's a level in which to be in the present moment that you realize that it's a practice. It's not something that you know how to do immediately right now in this moment if you've never done it. And oftentimes it's because we live in a world where chaos ensues, where we're being pulled into the stories and, what our family needs and our coworkers need, or our boss needs, our clients need. And we forget about ourselves. And so we lean out. I explain it as leaving the body to be in service to all of these other people, because we believe it's really important that we support them before we support ourselves. And so we kind of physically, energetically leave our body in order to step into the service of all of these people. And when we're out of our body, it's very chaotic. It doesn't feel like we're getting anything done. It's like the hamster wheel. Nothing is solvable. Everything is seen as a problem. And so the other way to really step into the now is to find practices that you can do in your day that ground you. I often say saying, I just want to be in my body is not really choosing to be in your body. Like if you place your hand over your heart, because it's a physical touch of your physical body. And if we want to get you out of your head and we want to get you in your body and into the now, then we want you in your heart, right? We want you in a space that you can feel yourself. And that requires you actually physically touching your body. So you put your hand on your heart and take a deep breath. And that brings you into the now. It brings you into the now, even if for a brief moment. So you've gotten 2 little activities to do today in this podcast to bring you into the now and out of thinking about all the chaos, which is to close your eyes and think, what's my next thought? Stop your ego in the tracks. And the other is to place your hand in your heart and breathe in. Because if you are self-employed, and you are in the chaos of the future and running around trying to solve all the problems for all the people, if you were to think of your body as your office and bringing people in to work with you, and they walk in and all the employees are running around like chickens with their heads cut off, not paying attention to the fact that a beautiful soul just entered the building that requires service, that is looking for you to solve a problem with them, then you've missed another opportunity. Right? The now offers you all the things that you're looking for. The answers are in the now. They're not in what you don't have. The answers are in what you already have in front of you. Because if you didn't have it in front of you, you wouldn't have manifested it for a reason. So being aware that the reason and the answer is right here, available in this moment, it really does allow you to slow the pace down and feel like that you have to do something or have something or get something in order to be able to be successful, have a loving relationship, have the business of your dreams, write a book, create an album. None of that. There is no and then it can happen. The and then it will happen will prevent it from happening, because there is no other moment but right now to begin, to lean in, to listen, to ground, to hold space for yourself, for your clients, for your family. And so I invite you to put your hand on your heart today and breathe in and just take the few moments every single, hour even, to slow down and bring yourself into the present. And this awareness of this podcast and having this conversation will bring it forth to you during however long is left in this day. Because when we bring awareness or we place a perception on things, it just tends to happen. And so you'll start to notice when you're jumping ahead to your groceries or to the dinner or to all of those things. And guys, there's always ways to be in the present moment in advance, right? So like for me, I don't want to be stressed and worried about dinners every night and letting my mind space and my energy space be filled with something I can control. And so meal planning is big in my world so that I don't have to allow my thoughts to go somewhere that's not in the present. So simply by doing meal planning and creating the grocery list, I know every single day I don't need to think about that. I can be more in the now because it's already taken care of. And that's just an example. But I appreciate and love you guys with so much of my heart. And I'm so grateful for you coming along on the chapters of The Blind Leap with me. And again, if you ever are looking at, learning your own energetic body, because this is the basis of everything. Right? When you are in a space to receive, then the universe will make aware to you all that it is that it's available. And I'm always open to answer any questions that you have on this, guys. So you can email me at tamara@tamaraarnold.ca. I would love to have that conversation. And I look forward to hearing. Tag me, what's going on? How did this podcast affect you? Share it with somebody who needs this message. And I will talk to you next week. If you've been listening to the Own Your Intuitive podcast and you know you are ready to step into your stardust and to shine your light out into this world, but you don't know what your stardust is and you don't know how to bust through your blocks, I would love to jump on a call to find out if the Chakra Business Academy is the perfect place for you to grow into your light worker self, to step into this world as a spiritual entrepreneur, making a difference and making an impact. If you're interested, you can go to tamaraarnold.ca/application and we'll be on a call in no time, and you'll be taking steps into stepping into your stardust and making an impact in the world with the exact purpose that you were put on this earth to do.